You ever get sad when you find out that an ex of yours is getting married? Or when an ex of yours is not only married, but they're having a kid or something like that?
Oh, let me tell you a quick little story. There I was going through the drive-through of Gold Star Chili after a Pearl Jam concert in Cincinnati.
Happiest place on earth besides Disney. What's the name of this place?
What? Gold Star?
Yeah.
Gold Star Chili?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I got me some coney dogs with that really finely shredded cheddar cheese.
Sure. Oh, nothing can mess up your night.
Yeah.
Except this. Then what?
I didn't eat. I was so sad I didn't even eat my conies. All right, so
You're how old at the time?
I was
Tell me all the players.
early 20s. Monkey Boy and I had gone to see Pearl Jam at US Bank Arena in Cincinnati. And right across the river, we were staying at a hotel. There's a group of us. And of course, after the show, we'd had a couple of drink or two and we're hungry. So I'm like, let's, you got it. Some people prefer Skyline chili. It's a little sweet for my taste. I'm a Gold Star chili girl.
You definitely are splitting to two different people.
So we're in the drive-thru of Gold Star Chili, and there I see Mike. Mike is the best friend of my dating Antichrist, okay? And we're in the car going, and I'm like, and so I see him, and like it takes a second. I'm like, oh my God, we say hi. He goes, did you hear? He's having a baby. And speaking of my dating Antichrist, and I go, he is. And so we go through the drive-thru, we get our food, we go to the hotel room. I'm sobbing. I don't want to be with this man anymore. I don't care about this man anymore.
How long had the two of you guys been broken up?
Oh, gosh. I had already moved back. So, I mean, we're talking about, it was about a year.
A year?
Yeah.
Totally out of your life.
I mean, completely. Completely out of my life. But yeah, he was having a kid, and that was just like a punch to the gut.
Why?
Couldn't even eat my coney.
Okay, because Ava's going through the same thing here with her boyfriend. But
Yes.
before I even get her on here, I've never understood this phenomenon. Like,
Yeah.
we're never going to be with him. That guy specifically
Yes.
hurt you time and time again.
Yes. It was the final nail in the coffin of what could have been but will never be. And it's looking back on like that should have like it's wistful thinking that should have been us. We should be having a baby together. That was our plan.
But he was terrible to you.
He was horrible to me. But when it was good, he wasn't always terrible. Like when it was good until it wasn't. So it's just that don't want to be with him, don't want to have a kid with him. But the fact that he has moved on quicker than me, mind you, he's the one who screwed me over.
Uh-huh.
Okay. So I'm here, boyfriendless, childless, etc. And now you are with somebody and already having a kid. It was just a kick in the crotch, man.
So maybe, Ava, this explains why your boyfriend is going through this with his ex-girlfriend. Tell us what's going on with the two of them.
Yeah, hi.
Hey.
Thanks for having me. Yeah, so I don't know. Things just took a turn. My boyfriend and I, so we've been together almost 6 months. So it's like I think like real territory. Like it's real. And if you'd asked me like a week ago, like, how's it going? Like, and I'm like, I love him. Like this is it for me. It's going great. It's going wonderful. But then, I mean, since last week, it's just been so different because he found out that his ex-girlfriend, the girlfriend before me, got engaged, and it's just night and day. He's just turned totally different. But before all of this happening, he told me repeatedly, I am over her. And like to the point that I now can see in hindsight was excessive, because he's not. I can tell he's not. I can totally tell he's not. He's just cold. He's just quiet, cold, depressed. He like very short with like speaking. I don't know what to do, and I don't want to make this problem about me, but he is clearly not over her, and he's got some like healing or growing to do, like whether or not he knows, and I just don't know what to do.
All right, so Ava,
yeah.
and from my just using my own personal experience, maybe he's over her. He's just not over the trauma of their relationship. Because I think those are two different things. It doesn't mean that he wants to be with her and that's like he still has feelings for her. Sometimes if a relationship ends so poorly, like it did with my dating Antichrist, right? Like I was over him. I didn't want to be with him, but I hadn't fully processed the trauma of the relationship.
Wait, Kristen's being much more open-minded about it than I would be. I'd be feeling the way you are right now.
And that's understandable. I mean, you're validated, Ava.
What you're saying makes sense to me. I think if I'm Ava, though, I'm feeling a certain way about it. So
I just feel like, it just, everything, like it makes me kind of doubt the last 6 months. Or not doubt in a big way, but just kind of question the last 6 months. Being like, was this performative? Were you trying to move on, but you weren't?
Maybe he was convincing himself he had moved on, but he actually hadn't done the work to get past it.
Maybe those are all the questions you got to ask him. I mean, I'd be filled with those kind of questions. Maybe this has given him the perspective that he realizes now that he's not over her, which is certainly not what you want to hear. Mm-hmm. But if he's honest, maybe he will say that, or maybe he'll explain it the same way Kristen just did. It's not her, it's the trauma of the whole thing.
I hope it's that. I hope it's that. I don't know, but it's just been like a real, just a different day. It's just different.
And I understand you not wanting to make this about you. And I respect that because, you want him to be validated in his feelings, but you also want to be validated in your feelings. And that's where it can get a little complicated. So I think the best case scenario here is you being like, hey, I can't help but notice you're pretty distraught over finding out your ex is engaged. Do you think you processed that breakup enough before getting in another relationship? God, that sounds so harsh, though.
I am trying to adapt Kristen's empathy. But the truth of the matter is, if this happened in my life, I would break up with the person. I really believe I would.
And and that's the thing. And one of my favorite quotes is, we don't see the world as it is, we see the world as we are. So it's whatever you've been through and whatever you've experienced in your life colors different situations. And that's my past experience colors certain situations for me. You haven't experienced a situation like this where you found out an ex was engaged or had a baby and you were very distraught about it. So for me personally, it had nothing to do with me wanting to be with him. There were no feelings left for him. It was like opening the trauma of the relationship again.
The difference between the two of your stories, though, is your Antichrist was over a year in your past, right? This was the guy, or this was the woman he dated right before Ava came along. And for some reason, that feels different to me.
Oh, okay.
And it wasn't all that long ago. Here's Shannon, who wants to help out here. Hey, Shannon, good morning. Thanks for joining the convo.
Hi. Well, I think we're also talking about your feelings, Bert, over facts. And I also think that women, when guys go through things, they're like, this is a chick thing. Did I get a broken one? Did I get a weak guy? Like they don't think, maybe this is something that you didn't realize. Like, let's go to, maybe you should see a counselor. They don't think, oh, guys are human. Guys have trauma. Guys have emotion. They're like, I got a broken one. I got a strong one.
Now, that's a good point. It is. So if you're giving advice to Ava here, it's what?
I'm like, if he's a good man to you and he's like, I'm over her, maybe suggest counseling. Maybe there's some things that he's broken inside about that he needs trauma. But if it doesn't get resolved, then, give him some time. Let him be human.
I appreciate you calling.
Thank you.
I think you should have a conversation with him over the weekend.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see how he responds to your, when you ask him about it over the weekend.
Take him to Gold Star.
Take him to Gold. Everything good happens at Gold Star.
They do have really good conies.
And then we'd love to follow up with you next week if that's cool.
You know what? I will. This has been so helpful, and how you and the caller word it. I think that's respectful, and I'm respecting myself because I want to find out to the bottom of it. But I'm also trying to respect him and what he's going through. So
I love it. Respect. How about that?
That went out 10 years ago.
we're trying to bring it back.
All right, Ava, we'll talk to you next week, okay?
Thank you so much. All right, bye, guys.
Bye-bye. It's Bert Show.
The Bert Show.
So, first, thanks for watching. Second, you like what you just watched? That just scratches the surface. Get The Bert Show on any podcast platform. We're so good.